In between dolphins assisting mankind, we also play an integral role in the foreseen events that are about to face Earth. In the future there will be many changes occurring, some supportive, as many will bring relief, and some devastating and destructive. We ask man as well as those that support them, animal, dimensions, etc., to just be aware that the dolphins carry a lot of the burden to come. The slaughtering of the dolphins has a lot to do with the perceptions of the beings who are involved in the slaughtering. They see dolphins as enemies, as offerings to their beliefs and cultures and not worthy of life. It is interesting how the same beings that watch their children grow will slaughter a dolphin. The mere fact that dolphins are the same innocence as children doesn't even register with these beings. All is one, though we, dolphins and children, actually have taken it upon ourselves, in an agreement, to show these beings that unless as responsible adults you stand up and change what is here, we as the children of this world will suffer. Interesting though that humans will panic when dolphins are not able to carry a pretty picture anymore. The worst case scenario, if all dolphins were to die, would be that our picture would no longer be there. Ask any animal conservationist about the loss of dolphins, or any species for that matter, and they would surely tell you that our purpose is to just be here as we have always been. A pretty picture. Once lost, never to be returned. Yet, there is a much more disturbing factor to our disappearance, one that has a lot to do with our survival as a whole. If mankind is not able to see this, then we have lost in any way. So, let's practically understand what the dolphins are saying. All this time we have allowed for our destruction merely so that the humans stand up to their own kind. What has this shown man other than the obvious? That indeed we can make a difference if one stands against many. If one being changes their entire outlook, their entire way of expressing themselves, then surely all are able to do it too. So if we become thousands, then millions, anything is possible. From our perspective, we are all just standing up and saying, no more. It changes mere refractions when one being stands up and says no more. Look from this perspective. If today you stop participating within lies, by tomorrow surely you'll change a few lives just by changing that one application within and about yourself. We're all busy teaching this world that it no longer carries any worth being deceitful and beyond yourself. When I say beyond yourself, I speak about the being within you that exists when all of this world has been released. If we were to take away everything you have ever associated yourself with, would you survive? Where would you stand? Would you walk beyond all that exists, or would you crumble? Let us see from this perspective why there has never been a greater sacrifice than that which the dolphin is willing to make. We will confirm to all that the essence of the dolphin will never be damaged or taken away, no matter in what form we will exist. The important thing to see within what this world is showing you, with all its destruction, is that the mere moments of oneness and equality exists. Have you ever felt yourself connect to other beings? Have you experienced yourself for one moment not feeling anything? No lust, no desire, no pain, no hatred, just stillness and being here in every moment. Just the mere knowing that you're here within your body, standing as this moment. Peace is what I experience when I experience this, nothing else moves within me. I honestly tell you that even though my understanding of your world is fairly impractical, it is however useful to look at. I see where your mind will go with this. You will ask yourself how a dolphin understands anything about suffering within this world when all we do is swim. I surely do not understand money and what it does to people. I have never known it. I surely am never able to say that I have walked in your shoes as a man or woman on earth, burdened by money. Yet, if you see what I see for your potential, you will know how what I say means freedom. I ask not that you discard or disregard money. I ask you to look at this world and its habits and you see what it is really all about. To see is to be aware, and then you have the ability to walk. Not necessarily easy, but without knowing where to start, all is lost. That is where mankind has lost its way. Through being less and less aware of what traps have been created and walking blindly more and more into what takes us away from our true selves. The dolphin is truly, sincerely grateful that this process has begun, for now this suffering that man, and animal, endures can become known and understood. Only now are we able to become aware of why we have allowed what we have and what it will take to get us out. So therefore I assist. Are you able to assist? What a question, considering that you are bound by all Earth's laws and enslavements. Quite a commitment from which I make my life's work step forth. It takes only knowing, understanding and awareness that you are more than what you're experiencing, to be able to set yourself free. I would like to mention to you all that Mother Nature will now show you where she is no longer tolerating man's actions. She will sow the seed of man's habits right back at you unless you become aware. Thousands of years have passed since the last beings spoke of awareness. Awareness is not the part of you that thinks, it is not that which wants. It is the direction that comes from within that leads to this world becoming one, equal. Strange concept, no it is not. If you look at who decided we are not equal, you will surely see that it was the mind. Strange it seems how we protect the mind in order to appear sane, yet the mind will take itself to insanity to shake your foundations, as many have experienced. Have you ever experienced yourself going slightly mad? Just so that you have thought of, this will drive me insane? That is where the mind shows you it is not able to be trusted. It works within logical, illogical, laws within lawlessness. Not exactly the ideal setup for ourselves to live within. As I swim through the oceans, I listen to man communicate. I hear one week how one law is created, then the next week that law is of no consequence. It all depends on how fragile the people find themselves obeying to those laws. One day humans worship each other and 100 years later they cannot wait to destroy each other. It is in how we despise everything we've created that we will always strive to better ourselves. Humans have completely forgotten what it means to be in oneness and equality with each other. What does it mean to be equal? I don't see myself as better than you, I merely state that I have an awareness that we're not equal because you have forgotten what equality means. Equality is here all the time, and I will show you where within this world you will see it. Within yourself, but not within this world. Unfortunately, to see what I see, you will see structures built to impress, to state power and perception, to generate wealth. Oneness lives within us as the occupants of this world, but it is not in our world. Terrible thing to say, as I cannot understand having to live in your daily grind to feed my children, and yet you must realize I have sacrificed many millions of my own to show you that we have the same oneness. That I will show you the sacrifice necessary. The release that it takes to overcome this world is immense. The shaking of foundations will rip beings apart, just because they don't allow themselves to see beyond what it is they have created. The dolphin made a pledge many thousands of years ago that mankind will overcome what it is that was heading our way. We saw what many beings are aware of now. You see it too, yet how many of you stand up? Often one feels standing up is not able to be achieved until you are forced to by having everything taken from you. Our pledge stepped from one singular vision, a vision that we shared with many beings that we had connected within oneness and equality. It was thousands of years after the first stars came to be. We were merely the first of many creations that came into existence in this universe. We came into being as part of a circular formation. Points spread out throughout galaxies, yet all connected. This formation was star-shaped, not placed to form a star, but if you look at the points they line up to look like stars, but was formed from the placements of particular beings and the particular life existence they were placed in, their current life form. To give you an example of the layout of this star and its many points. Each point in this example would therefore be represented by particular beings, groups. Some of these groups were as follows: the dimensions, beings responsible for the insight into the essence of all that is, the animal kingdom, dolphins, etc., the creators, the beings responsible for change, and many more beings that stood within this particular application that would always work as one. This was a standing together that was agreed upon thousands of years ago, when beings created this world, where it was decided that planets would be watched over as it required interventions to create harmony within worlds. Each formation watched over a particular planet, with most beings within these formations being on and from various planets. Each being, animal or physical/dimensional, would stand upon this decision to always work towards bringing forth equality on their planets. These planets would become examples to all other planets in time to come. Unfortunately, however, in time many beings fell, as the decision to remain stable within their application was not always an easy one. Many, however, have followed through, seeing themselves standing within what it was that they had foreseen, that without great courage from each being it would not be an easy task pulling these planets through. The animal kingdom made an agreement to become assistants to the balancing of mankind as they evolved from mere beings to that of the beings they had the potential to become. To do whatever it took to ensure that all beings had some way of overcoming what they were allowing in their lives. Many millions of animal kinds were created according to specific energetic support structures, groups of animals, plants or insects that worked together on specific tasks. So there you have the placement of the animal kingdom. A while ago many thousands of planets had animals existing on them, not merely as pets, but on some planets animals are the inhabitants. One could go on for days explaining how each group plays a role in the eco and biological systems of this planet. Intricate indeed. Even the dolphins rely on specific organisms to assist us with our digestion so that we are able to process food to be able to have all the chemical structures to hold in place our biological makeup. Everything is an exact science. Today we have of course forgotten that every creature, except some that are mere genetic mutations of the original, has a specific message and functionality. On Earth we're much too busy recreating what it is we perceive we need. Even in our own desire to seek ourselves we run around in circles. Man has long forgotten what he is all about. So therefore at this point in time the original star alignment of beings has been realigned, cleared and set into motion. The time has come for all beings within this agreement to step up and decide when and how they participate. We have lost many beings throughout this alignment as many have forgotten, as it was agreed upon many thousands of years ago, that they even made the agreement, or they simply cannot see it even working, while other beings are absolutely throwing themselves in with everything they've got. Indeed it has been quite a time becoming aware of all the internal battles busy within beings as they struggle with themselves, clearing old memories hampering their ability to stabilize themselves. Luckily for the dolphins we have always remained extensively clear in what our primary goal is. We never allowed for the mindset of humans to interfere with what we do. Even though in captivity people teach us tricks in exchange for food, sounds silly doesn't it, we've still remained clear about where it is we remain. Domesticated animals unfortunately have not had that luck as they more often than not have fully integrated themselves into the humans in order to assist them. So next time you see your pet act like a human, those traits you think are so adorable, please realize they are merely showing you where you have not looked within yourself. They also show you that which you are not able to stand in another is merely being shown to you is actually a part of you, those people who claim to have pets with behavioral problems. Let me remind you for a moment that animals don't enjoy taking on human personalities. Keep in mind that each breed has ways about them. I am however talking about distinct human characteristics like jealousy, fear, desire, addiction, etc. By even accepting such nonsense you're actually degrading what an animal is. One of the most natural beings on Earth. They show you what they are, how they behave and what they specifically show or assist you with. When an animal takes on your personalities, they show you what you are not able to see. They do not share with you that you have immaculate taste in chocolate, but rather that they enjoy chocolate as well. Basic. Perhaps when you see them growl to prevent others from getting the chocolate, they show you that even within the animal kingdom there exists the tendency to want food for themselves. However, when the animal takes on distinct traits that seem human-like, you should immediately ask how that would fit into their basic animal requirements. So, back to the dolphins and how we only perform tricks to keep you people entertained. The reason why we seem so jovial whilst performing shows at dolphinariums is actually to assist mankind yet again. It is not, as you have been led to believe, our dearest moments where we get to jump through loops. We are assisting the people watching in releasing all of their frustrations, fears, and explosive mind constructs. Have you ever been to a dolphin show? Do you remember when we did something that made your stomach whoop with anticipation and you feel yourself become euphoric with the delight of seeing us perform? Well, all those sensations, unless of course you felt nothing, which is a pity, are associated to how we are balancing and bring out your awareness. Some people are very aware that dolphins have something about them. We release and transform all your fears and doubts. Even though humans tend to go right back, mostly, into what they've created, it does however assist you, at least for some time. We are always assisting beings. Wherever we find ourselves, we place ourselves firmly within that moment and we do what it is that we are able to assist. The mere refractions that create change within beings is absolutely what we strive for. Especially children are where we work the most. Their minds have not been obstructed and complicated as much as that of the adult. To a child, the dolphin also represents more than just a slimy fish. Yes, many people still see us as silly fish. Children can still be assisted to the point where they grow up understanding that their actions are not merely harmless and that where they place themselves has a lot to do with how they view themselves within this world. It has always been a wonderful thing for a dolphin when a child sees what we do. Often a child will sit at one of these dolphinarian shows with the dullest look in their eyes. I see them through all the water as I rise to meet their eyes. Often these children live in such deprived states, where all they get used to is seeing their parents abusing each other or where they live within this abuse. I see in their eyes how they have become dead inside, with mere refractions within them of their original freedom. So I rise up and I look at them, adult and children alike. I see them while they see me. It is my vulnerability that makes the human take notice and look me in the eye. I say to them, look, I have nothing to hide, you may see me. If I am able to be taken from my oceans, where I swam freely with others to become a toy, then what stops you from facing yourself? Perhaps in that moment you do not even realize that you are connecting to me, but it is like a live wire running through us both. It is wonderful. I sense that you have no life and I push you to feel that you have that. I push for all that your mind is saying to you to merely stand still and allow for the you inside to breathe. If you can imagine the brainwaves coming from your mind looking like electricity, then the entire audience area would be electrified. Bolts of electricity shooting from each being's head. In color it actually has distinct blue and red shooting through the air as it moves. Just like lightning that shows color. Beautiful, yet very harmful. Harmful because it shows us that the human mind is much too chaotic. Within each of these specific rays and bolts of electrical movement, it shows us that all is not well in the mind. Thoughts are not able to be directed as the being within oneness. Beings sit there unaware of their minds, and yet it seems to me that you have an awareness that your mind is not able to be trusted. Or is it rather that you trust the mind because everyone tells you to? So my keen eyes catch everything from that one jump out of the water. I assist and I move all throughout my little performance. And you thought the performance was breathtaking. Imagine for a moment what I have just given you a glimpse into. The magnitude of the actual performance I deliver. So therefore we allow our captivity, it gives us the opportunity to become closely involved with people, allowing for moments where nothing else moves within you but what we allow. The rush that we experience together as I jump high is how I take all that I move out your body and return it to the skies. Once these energies are placed outside the body, the dimensional beings take either transform or destroy it. Therefore this connection exists between the dolphins here in 3D and all that exists dimensionally, ensuring that balance is obtained.